Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports checking in. And first off, I want to apologize for the hiatus. I've been having a lot going on in my personal life and things like that. But today, I am back. And in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 teams that's going to see a downfall in the 2019 NFL season. And no, any of those teams will not be the Chicago Bears, so you can kind of X that video playing in the background, as my Bears will not be a team on a downfall. But there are 5 teams that I think will be, and in this video, we're going to talk about that. Let's dive into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I almost went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little prouder.
Coming in at number 5 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Some people will say, why would you have the Steelers on this list? They still have Big Ben. They got rid of a locker room cancer, and that Le'Veon Bell didn't play last season. Yes, I do agree with that. But Juju Smith-Schuster, how much I love him as a wide receiver, is he going to be able to take over the role as the number 1 target in the offense? And also, the defense is making major changes, and a lot of players are getting older. While yes, they still have TJ Watt, there are questions to where Devin Bush, a guy that they drafted number 10 overall, there are still questions as to can he be that replacement from Ryan Shazier, who they lost due to a devastating back injury. The Pittsburgh Steelers will also take a downfall, not mainly because of their play, it's also because the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns are getting better while the Steelers are regressing. So the real question is, can this team withstand all the losses and be able to retain their level of success? My answer to that question is no. They're going to take a dip this year. They're going to take a downfall, as the Ravens and Browns will be the top 2 teams in the division. The Bengals aren't really going to be any competition, so we really don't need to talk about that. The Steelers are going to be 3rd in the AFC North, and they're probably going to have a record somewhere around 6-10 or 7-9 at best. Staying in the AFC North, number 4, the Cincinnati Bengals. There's a lot of questions about this Bengals team. Number 1 is Zach Taylor, the right replacement for Marvin Lewis. Number 2 is Andy Dalton, the true answer at quarterback right now. And number 3 is AJ Green going to stay on the team past this season, as this year is the last year of his contract. Number 4, what the hell happened to the defense? Number 5, are they really going to spend money in any free agency period? Because in this period, they did absolutely nothing to improve the roster. They did improve the offensive line in the draft, selecting Jonah Williams from Alabama at number 11 overall. But that is not the only question as to what's going on with this Bengals team. This Bengals team, I see, is going to turn into the 2000s Cleveland Browns. That's how bad I really predict that the Cincinnati Bengals really will be. If you guys agree or disagree, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. The Bengals are going to be god-awful this year, as they might, just might, end up having the number 1 overall pick in the 2020 draft. Definitely top 5, but definitely can see them being number 1 overall. At number 3, we have my Chicago Bears, NFC North rival, Minnesota Vikings. Some people will say, why would the Vikings take a downfall? They have a great defense. The offense is coming up. Both statements are true. Here is the number 1 reason why the Minnesota Vikings will take a downfall. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins cannot be trusted to win any big games, as his record against teams with winning records is absolutely god awful. The record against winning teams is 4-25. Until I see any downright amazing improvement against winning teams from Kirk Cousins, the Vikings will not rise from here. This could change if Kirk Cousins plays better, but he has a track record of laying a huge egg in big games. The defense returns Anthony Barr along with Harrison Smith, Everson Griffin, Danielle Hunter, and Xavier Rhodes. But the defense can only take them so far. The offense, mainly Kirk Cousins, has to step up for this Minnesota Vikings team to return to the 2017 form, which seen them go to the NFC Championship game. At number 2, the Miami Dolphins. If any team can challenge the Cincinnati Bengals for the number 1 overall pick in 2020, the Miami Dolphins are that team. The Ryan Tannehill experiment turned out to be a huge fail. In this draft, they replaced him with trading for Josh Rosen, the Cardinals' number 10 overall pick in 2018. Ryan Tannehill ultimately was traded to the Tennessee Titans. Cameron Wake left and joined him. Frank Gore left in free agency to sign with the Buffalo Bills. They signed Ryan Fitzpatrick to be back up to Josh Rosen or could possibly compete for the job. But any team that has Ryan Fitzpatrick as their starter or potential starter, you're not going anywhere. So, Dolphins fans, don't be too happy because your team is not going anywhere this year and possibly for the next couple of years. The Dolphins did draft Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle from Clemson, which I think will be a very sneaky defensive rookie of the year candidate. But the Dolphins have way too many holes to be an even competitive team in 2019. They have question marks at the quarterback position, question marks at running back, question marks at the offensive line, question marks at receiver, question marks everywhere you go for the Miami Dolphins team. This team will be god awful, along with the Bengals this 2019 season. And with all that, the team is adjusting to new head coach Brian Flores. Personally, I think Adam Gase shouldn't have been fired. Should have been given another year to right the ship. But nonetheless, you still have all that going on, and you're adjusting to a brand new head coach. This spells for absolute disaster. And then you're in the division with the defending champion New England Patriots, the improving New York Jets, and the improving Buffalo Bills. Yeah, Dolphins fans, just be prepared for a very, very long season. The number 1 team that will see a downfall in 2019, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, yes, they did just pay Russell Wilson 4 years, $144 million. But Seattle has lost a ton this offseason with the retirement of Doug Baldwin, losing Earl Thomas in free agency, also not being able to sign Frank Clark and ultimately dealing him to the Kansas City Chiefs. While Russell Wilson did improve last season, particularly in the passing game, the Seattle Seahawks just really don't have a lot of weapons around him to help him elevate his game to that Aaron Rodgers status, which he's being paid at. They did draft DK Metcalf in the second round of this year's draft, but the retirement of Doug Baldwin is ultimately going to elevate DK Metcalf into the number 1 receiver slot, which I do not think that's a good thing, especially him coming fresh out of college and also dealing with a neck injury of his own. The Seahawks defense has lost a ton the past few years with the losses of Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Brandon Browner, Cam Chancellor, Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, names like that. Eventually, losing those names are going to catch up to you. And this year, I really think is going to catch up to them with the added loss of Frank Clark. Now, yes, they did sign Ziggy Ansah to help elevate the pass rush this offseason, but I don't think he's the same player that he was 2 years ago. And also, you have a lot of inexperience on your defense outside of perennial Pro Bowl linebacker Bobby Wagner and his partner in crime, KJ Wright. Now, I will not say the Seahawks will be a complete disaster this season, but with all that transpired in the offseason and the people that they have lost, and also you having to pay Russell Wilson top tier dollar, and also that leaves not enough money to kind of upgrade other positions, the Seahawks are going to take a slide this year, being a playoff team last year, finishing with a 10-6 record. They are not a team that is built to improve on that 10-6 record. The reason why I have them as my number one team to see a downfall is that it's going to hit drastically fast this season, and they're going to go from a 10-win team to a 6-win team, in my opinion, with all that they lost and not being able to replace those lost players. So the Seattle Seahawks fans, be in for a rude awakening, as your team is going to finally see a slide despite all that has been going on over the past few years. The Seahawks will not make the playoffs, as teams in the NFC like the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Packers, unfortunately, and the 49ers in their own division are improving teams and can easily bypass the Seattle Seahawks to get a playoff spot. Now, if you guys agree or disagree with any of my rankings, please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I really want to know what you guys think about teams that are going to take a downfall this year. Now, that is going to do it for today's video. I am your boy APW Sports. Be sure to like the video, comment your thoughts down below, share the video, and also subscribe to the channel, as that helps the channel to grow. And be sure to click that notification bell to be notified of when I upload. Now, Bears episode is coming very soon. I'm going to return that series this week as well. And other than that, I am signing out. Peace out!
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister and my brother.